How many bodies in here? That's an issue. Who was sitting next to you?
You got water?
You got a car?
Do what?
You got a car?
Do I have
Where did you get it?
somebody handed it to me? This lady here handed it to me. She said she wanted to give me some water so I keep my mouth shut.
No, I do appreciate, that edifying response, just asking for us to come together. I mean, regardless of what happens, whatever, I mean, it is good that we try to at least edify and come together in a peaceful way.
What happens when you bring this thing down?
Okay, I'm gonna let Burl sit
Or
down.
when it's shut down, or all over, whatever we got to do.
Yes.
Council. Are we convening? Okay.
On the motion on personnel matters, vote to table it so that, the officer can decide how he wants to proceed and we can address that at the next meeting.
I second to table it.
Terry Rose.
Yes.
Cammy Garner.
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano. And Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is going to be to discuss the code enforcement. We are doing a Zoom call. I would ask everybody to kind of keep the comments to yourself and so the gentleman can speak. We are about 30 minutes past time, so hopefully he's still available for us. Hey, hang on, we can jump to you for a second.
Can you see?
Barely. And I'm trying to turn it around so everybody can hear him.
Could it be coming through the TV?
It's not coming through.
Through the speaker down at the bottom right, you can choose the TV. If you hover over it. No, if you hover over the speaker icon, you can choose it for the sound to come out of the TV.
Down by the battery.
There, yes.
No, I can't, that's not, it's all the way.
Yeah, there you go. Hover over that, and then you should be able to choose. Yeah, click on that, and then click on. Yeah, that should be it. I think.
Okay,
I don't
is
know.
that better?
I don't know how you're connected to TV.
We don't know.
Alright.
Okay. Can you hear me?
No, he's not muted. It would show him as
He
muted.
cannot hear you, so
That's how he can.
Well, the microphone's blue. Does that mean it's muted?
Select the speaker. Try digital output maybe. On the speaker, select the speaker.
it's all the way up. Okay, is that better? Okay, perfect.
There we
Okay,
go.
awesome. Yay, little things in life.
Good
Okay.
job.
I'll be moving you around a little bit so that way you can kind of see the council and everything like that too. Okay, so this is Danny. He is with, I'll let Danny introduce you. He is the one that's gonna discuss the code enforcement company that we are doing. Sorry it's taken a little bit of time.
That's okay.
Thank you for being patient with us. You can go ahead.
Okay, I'm Danny Barrett. I'm the director of Texas Communities Group. We're a company out of Lubbock, Texas. We formed TCG in 2014. We got asked to get into code enforcement by our local COG unit here in Lubbock, South Plains Association of Governments. And that's how we found ourselves doing code enforcement. I think I had some questions that might come up. Our company, Texas Communities Group, is partly owned by a law firm who branded for their Collins Law, does government collectibles. We started Texas Communities Group to help I'm out here in West Texas, and a lot of our towns were having issues with code enforcement, vacant abandoned properties, and things of that nature. So, that's what, TCG was formed for, and, that's what we do.
Thank you for that. And then city council, go ahead.
You know, I'll kind of go through some of the questions, we got a phone call from Holly, I don't know, a few months back. She knows somebody, out here, that was a mayor of, a city of Ropesville, which is a small community, about 400 people, south and west of here. We've been working with the city of Ropesville for about 4 to 5 years. And I think it was based off that conversation or recommendation, Holly, had contacted us to see if we would be interested or be able to help or do some code work there, in East Tawakoni. So that's how I heard of East Tawakoni. And really, Holly or any of the council, it's good to be here. I with any good code enforcement program, you gotta have council support. And, that's what we're here for. Make sure this is an avenue you want to go through. And, how it goes, we're not, I like to think I'm a fairly normal person. And, my work on code enforcement, I'm a licensed and certified code officer. My general rule of thumb is if I was living next to that property, would I be comfortable, with that property next door? When we live in a city, in city limits, there are rules for how we maintain our properties with close proximity. There's also benefits of being in a city, water, sewer, police protection, and all of that, but codes go hand in hand with that, and we feel like we've developed a code enforcement program that's good for small communities. I grew up in a small town, kind of know what they're like, so that's where we are, here.
Thank you. Does anybody on the council have questions for him regarding this?
So, they've been doing stuff for us for months, 6 weeks, whatever.
But yes, and it did get, yes, they had been.
So, what have they done? What?
Not a lot, not a lot. We had, I came out there, I was there, in June. We kind of drove around, it was my first time to go to East Tawakoni. Holly drove me around, I drove around myself, and we kind of looked at some properties and kind of got a little bit of the lay of the land of the town. But other than that, we've received a few things, I think we've looked at a few things, but I don't know that we have taken any steps.
I think y'all had 10 properties that y'all looked at, and then you had worked with our permit, court clerk on some liens and stuff like that, looking at those, and that's about what y'all done in the last.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions on council for him at all?
So, I guess my question is, have there been requests for properties being mowed and stuff submitted? And if so, are they looking at those? Why haven't they done anything with those?
I believe there have. I think since I've been out there, there's been some questions about the contract. Did the council approve the contract? Does the council want code enforcement? And I'm not making this personal, it's not about me or TCG. Does the council want a code enforcement program? And I think there was a lot of questions with that we were getting from, and I think there was a meeting that we were gonna be on last month, and for one reason or the other, we weren't able to make it, or there wasn't a meeting. But, we didn't wanna take any action until we knew we had council support, community support, and that, what kind of guidelines do we want? guidelines as to what your problems are. You have a city ordinance that we can go by. What depth do you wanna go by? I don't believe you get out and measure weeds with a ruler to see if they're a half inch over. My general rule of thumb is if I'm driving down the road, I have to turn my head and look at that property, there might be an issue there. But we didn't wanna do anything unless we knew, one, that the contractor was approved by full council, and that you guys want a program there, and what type of program you want.
I guess I'm not sure how to proceed because I don't know what they can or can't do for us. And I understand why, with the state of things, why y'all haven't proceeded with doing much of anything. So I don't have an issue with that, but, so, I think, unless we give them, a month to go do stuff and see what they can do for us, or.
This was
So I feel-
Has the council voted on
That's what we're doing, not yet, that's what we're doing today, yeah.
So our understanding was that,
We can't work unless we know we have a council contract, approved by council. I mean, that's just to protect you guys and protect us, protect your citizens too. I like to think of us as kind of a third party. We don't live there, and so sometimes it's better to kind of have a third party, mediator to some extent discussing things. I don't think we're unreasonable by any stretch of the imagination. But we have to have a formally approved contract to go to work. We'll be glad to help out and look into a property, make some suggestions, but for us to do any work without a contract wouldn't be prudent.
Right, and I understand that,
so my understanding was that we had a 30-day contract, and that's why 30 plus days ago, we were supposed to see what they could do and then vote if we wanted to extend that contract. So it seems like they were given a 30-day contract, but then not much has done. There's been a few real estate, business things that have been done. But as far as code enforcement, there's lots of people that believe we already have a code enforcement officer. And that's, something that people have been happy with thus far and don't feel like this is a company that is necessary for our community at this time.
And with me, code enforcement is very important for the city in order for us to take care of our city from all aspects. I think we all agree with that. However, doing it in a silo of only talking with one company, I think we needed to look at the possibility of at least 2 more. And even in the TML, it states 3.
so in the
we have
TML, it
only-
states 3 if the contract's over a certain value.
That is correct, depending on the size of our city.
Depending on the size of the.
Right.
city.
And-
Right, and so that's what, and I asked in the very beginning about this.
Right.
And so my point is an agreement, whether 30 days, whether whatever, was gotten into. We didn't have any other outside, companies to look at, to compare with, from a council perspective even, in order to determine what is the best thing for our city.
I agree. I mean, we looked at one company.
I mean,
I think that we're within the legal rights to hire a company for the dollar value of this contract and not have to go out and look at 3 different companies if we don't want to. If we want to go out and look at 3 different companies, that's fine. I don't have a problem with
But the
that.
city council is the ones who depict whether or not we go with the one that's been presented, or if we say we want to go and look at 2 other companies.
True, that's what we're doing tonight, right?
Yeah, so I feel like at this point, this is, this company has been brought to us, they've been this 30-day contract or however long, and so I feel like at this point, we're at a point where we can decide, is this a company that we want to, hire for long term, or is this something that we don't feel is necessary for our community at this time?
Please.
Danny, do you have anything else that you wanna add to the comments the council's made at all?
We love to work there. We work remotely. To some extent, we do have inspectors that we can send out, and we would, we were talking, do you want a city employee to be an inspector? We have a phone based application where you can report violations, weed violations, junk vehicle violations, whatever structure it may be. We see all of that. We make suggestions. Of course, we work with the notice, getting the notices out to property owners, giving them some options. I think one of the things we do differently is we have local contractors. If there's a local lawn care or landscaping company, we try to put them in the notices, because we just assume the property owner get in touch with somebody there locally to get the problem taken care of. I think we're very strong, citizen-oriented company. When you're working with people on their property, they certainly have ownership rights, but I think we're very amenable and willing to work. We wanna work with you. Feel free to check us out, check out whoever you want to. We'll be glad to help in any way we can. We just don't wanna work without full council approval and support.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Anything else?
Thank you.
You're
Thank
right
you
here.
for your time.
You're
Thank
right
you,
here.
appreciate it. Okay.
Have you read the contract, ma'am? You keep talking about this
Okay.
30-day temporary. Have you read the contract? There's nothing in there about 30
So,
days.
anyway, so
Nothing in there about
discuss,
temporary. Read the
David,
contract.
David, I will ask you to please calm down, or you can leave, that's your two choices. Thank you.
But there is, I would like to know where the 30 days is.
Yeah. So on the contract that you have in front of you,
Yeah, right here.
Terry,
I'm looking at,
okay, Nicole.
I've seen it, I've read it.
Anybody need a copy? Do y'all need copies? No, I think we need.
No, I already have.
Okay, so on that contract, it does say on 3B, it does say 30 days prior written notice on there that we can terminate at any point in time.
Question, back to
Also,
Lynn, please.
excuse me,
Hang on
David,
just a second, but it also says that at that 30 days, the 15,000 is due.
yes, and they have not done anything for us, so we haven't even started it yet.
But they just said they
Doesn't
have.
say.
Oh, wait, stop, you two need to please hold
But
it
they just
down,
said that,
or I
you just
will
said
have
that
you
they have.
removed.
With the council. According to him, they have.
They came out and visited, they took pictures of properties, and at that point in time, they did not do anything because they told me, they had two council members that called them and told them that it was not approved yet, so they have not moved forward, that's what he just said. So you're agreeing that's what he just said? You
No,
said that?
well, also, the lady that answers the phone said that nobody's ever been out here. So their office didn't do it.
So the gentleman that was just on there was out here, and I attend that meeting, and I send every council member my notes from that meeting. So they have been out here. They may or may not have other inspectors that have been out here, but they have been out to the city, so.
I'm telling you, that's not what I said. I said the lady that we talked to on the phone said that nobody's been out here. So,
Don't know who you talked to on the phone, sorry.
So instead of going back and forth, I would suggest that we just vote on this issue, to decide if it's something we wanna move forward with, or if we decide it's not. So I move to a motion that, this is not a contract that we should renew at this
I'll
time.
second that.
Terry Rose,
Yes.
Cammy Garner,
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano,
Yes.
and Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Next action is to discuss and take action, approve or deny the zoning changes located on the north side of Highway 276, properties known as ID 20891. That was previously approved by city council, which is in your enclosure 3. There are also petitions that Lee Tammy has too, and then there's also a, note or email or a letter that was also provided to y'all.
for, which meeting was it approved? Was that the first
It's the
meeting?
planning and zoning,
Oh, the planning and zoning, okay.
yes, which I don't know who. Robin,
Be like-
sorry. Oh, yeah, it was like Robin. And it's like, so Robin and then met, and Rob and I
So
actually
they
attended
approve
that.
it and then we make the final decision? Is that how it works?
Can I, Mayor, may I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, as part of the planning and zoning, whenever this was brought to us, it was brought to us with, changing from residential to commercial. With, the potential of putting up a billboard, with a possibility of in the future, something along the line of boat storage units, EV charging stations, etc. What we, when we talked to the people who bought the property and wanted it changed, our point of view as the planning and zoning was that, being commercial, our city needs commercial property. We need it bad for our, sales tax revenue. And, this is road frontage. A lot of cities, small cities, on their main, highway going through their town, it is commercial property all along that line. And we do not have that here in this city. But when this came up, and then we decided to go ahead and send it to the council, we voted yes, change it from residential to commercial, with the understanding that the council would have to approve what was gonna go on there. So it's, our job mainly is to decide from residential to commercial, and it's their job to decide what goes on that property, what's approved and what's not approved. Just to kinda let the planning and zoning off the hook there.
Yeah.
Yes. If they go in commercial, which one of those zones will be right behind my house, that's gonna depreciate the value of my home. Who's gonna take care of that?
This, like I said, it's, our city
I
needs
didn't
commercial
move down
property.
here, I didn't move down here to throw money away.
I understand that, I do.
What other questions did you have? Sorry.
I think that's all the questions.
Are you gonna let Carla have her 3 minutes?
Oh, Carla, I didn't see you back there, Carla. She had her 3 minutes, so she could have it again.
She did not get her 3 minutes.
It's actually 2, but go ahead.
Okay, well, as she just, Robin just said, it was at the meeting, we did discuss that, or they did discuss with us, because that was a question, that later on, there would be a possibility. They told us that there were 5 different things that they had, came to them and asked for, and that was the only one that they would approve. Our thing is, at your vision meeting, the, EDC really said it best, the president. She said that they have worked really, really hard, because I have been part of the EDC and had to step down for just personal reasons, but they worked very hard on working on trying to find just the right businesses to put into our city. I understand we need revenue really bad, but they've worked hard on that, and they've even paid quite a bit of money to do a feasibility study. And her words that night were that we feel that after doing a lot of research, we feel that we need to grow our city with population before we grow before we can have a lot of businesses here. And the second thing was that she said we need to be very careful, picky or choosy about the businesses that we do put in here. And we have Mr. John, I met him the night of the vision, and he mentioned that he owned the Baja Storage. And after the meeting, I asked him how long he had owned it, and he said 1 year, or close to a year. And I said, how many RVs and boats do you have there? And he said, in a year, he's had 1 RV, and you know, so that's just case in point that this is really not the type of business that we want in here. Needless to say that, you know, the billboard, if it's a bright, shiny billboard, and we don't really have a lot of businesses to advertise, so it's gonna have to come from other areas. So I don't really know if that's really what we really want. So we're just asking you to just keep it residential. I mean, I understand that the man did buy it to have it rezoned, but just because he bought it doesn't mean we have to rezone it, you know?
Petition.
Oh, and we do have, yes, we have at least almost 60 names on a petition. We did not really go out and research this. These were just people that, you know, randomly in our neighborhood and around the surrounding area said, no, they do not want, you know, that to be that. So we're just asking you to reconsider this.
I'd say make a decision or fall. What would y'all like to do on this?
Can anybody else make a comment? Would you, as council members or planning committee members, like a big sign in your yard?
Or behind your house?
Yes.
Or we want to put one on mine, up behind my house?
Yes, ma'am.
Where's the property they're talking about?
It's on 276.
In Center
It's
Road.
on Center Road.
Center
So,
Road.
You know, kinda how you go down, when you go to Emory, you go down kind of the normal, it's in that area.
There's like, right now.
Where they did all the road construction, where we've had the water lines being dug up there. using our tractors.
Yes, past it.
I mean,
Past.
my thing is, and I'm sympathetic, I am. But if you buy a house and the lot behind you is empty, and at some point we're saying that the lot was sold, you should've bought it. You didn't. Now it's commercial. It is what it is.
But when they bought it, it was residential.
So why didn't you just buy the lot and then you're protected? But
Is
you
it
didn't.
still not residential?
And now there's nothing to say
There you go.
that somebody can't build there. I mean, it'd be the same if it was my house. I mean, would I like it? No, I'd be standing where you are, but the reality is, things change and they grow, and they're wanting growth in this community. And
My house
so,
will go on the market for sale.
that's fine, sir.
I'm not gonna have a billboard right behind my house, and that's where they're planning on putting.
I understand, but maybe that's the choice you need to make.
I got a
Take a big
solution.
loss.
Whoever bought that
File
2
a
acres of
loss.
property can buy my Baja Boat Storage and my billboard. Problem solved.
Council, how would y'all like to move forward with this?
So I have a question. So, they approved it for commercial, so are we just approving it for commercial or for the specific thing of the billboard? And is it the electric,
Yeah, that-
charging station?
We made a recommendation.
Okay.
That's all.
I mean, my thoughts are, I understand, growing for, the commercial, but I do think it's most important about what the community wants, and, you know, if it's commercial and it's something that's beneficial to the community and the members, and there's a consensus of that, then that's good for the community. But just, I don't think just cause someone buys it, they have a right to make it commercial and do what they want with it, you know,
Thank you.
so.
And also, is the new constructions that are happening on either side of that, have those people been informed that this is happening?
Rob, what was your question?
So I was just gonna clarify, so planning and zoning recommended to change it to commercial and allow a billboard.
That's what we
Okay,
discussed.
so there wasn't anything, there's no recommendation for the charging station or the boat storage or anything?
No, there wasn't.
Okay,
But that's coming up later.
And
That's
nothing is
possible.
recorded on its title. Its title still says residential.
Can I ask you, what's the restrictions on the height of the billboard? And what kind of, can they put profanity on that billboard? Can they put nudity?
That's all, I think
All
we
that
would
stuff.
have looked
I know in
at
Plano,
that.
they made them start taking down some of the billboard signs because the drivers were seeing that it causing wrecks because they weren't paying attention to driving instead of.
I think everything, everything has to be approved by text ballot. That's right, I think we looked at, yeah.
Behind my house, blue billboards.
Council, let's go ahead and take an action on this.
So are we voting specifically for the charging station and the billboard, or just for commercial, and then we vote further?
They're requesting the change in the zoning of the property located on the north side, so we're basically changing the,
Make a motion that we read it
As residential.
as residential.
yeah, so basically you go residential or commercial.
Yes, it was.
I second your
But-
motion
What, I'm
I
sorry.
said, I make a motion that we leave it as residential.
at this time.
Thank you.
How are we gonna
somebody
grow?
will need to figure out.
Fill in the two that
Can
are
you
still
change
empty,
it to commercial?
TJ's and the one-time Big Daddy.
Yeah, there's enough
Start looking
vacant
at
property
what we can do too.
that's already commercial.
That's something that we need to find out.
At this time.
But at this time, I mean, it's, they can always reapply, they can always redo it.
I second her
But right
motion.
now, I'm
Leaving
saying
it
no,
residential.
because there's too many unknowns.
We have a lot of highway frontage right there.
There is a lot.
We need to figure that out.
Yep. So
I agree.
Figure what would be
But-
acceptable to the neighborhood.
But I think that the city does have, and I'll double check, the city does have rights, they can put in ordinances that can control the
That's what I
signs and
think
everything
too.
else on commercial property.
But we don't have that in place.
But we don't, that's
We
why
need
I'm
the
saying.
information.
And I know there's several people who want it, but I think there's more right now that do not.
Correct. All right, Terry Rose.
For what I said, yes.
Residential as residential.
Tammy is seconded
Yes.
it. Now we're taking roll call.
Yes.
Cammy Garner,
Yes.
Nastasia Ruffiano, and Robert Thompson.
Well, I mean, we got 3 yeses, it'll make a difference on what 9 is, but, you know, I think we do need to look at making more commercial property available, and I know people say TJ's and stuff is there, but
I don't disagree with you, but I
But it's
think
just
at the
not-
time with too many unknown factors,
well, but I mean, the recommendation was to make commercial on a billboard at this point, so I mean,
but,
so.
And then when they did
So, I'll vote no,
residential
just to be
next door
opposite.
me.
okay.
There you go. Because we thought it can't have it zoned commercially, but like us, we fought it until we got an insurance agency who's out for 8 to 5. So we didn't have a gas station next door.
Well, I don't want it to be like Houston where you can have anything next door.
Amen. Let's, discuss and take action if necessary to approve or deny a bid, to replace the lift station pump at 150 Club Circle. Jeff, do you wanna speak on this? Sorry,
Don't
put you under, anything pressure there, go ahead.
Okay, the Randall has worked on that one lift station and got that pump going so far. Okay, if it goes down again, we have a replacement pump sitting
Ready to go.
at the yard, ready to go. Now, we have another lift station, and it is only running on one, so if we need to transfer that pump to the other lift station, then, you know, we need to do that. And what I need here is the quote's $4,100. It could, you know, that's the initial quote, and that's everything the way it sits right now. And what I need is some flexibility to go up to 45 if I need to do that, but right now, I'm just at 41. But I need the approval to do that in case it goes down again, and we don't have any more disasters that hadn't been took care of in God knows how long.
Can we just make the motion to go up to 45?
And this can, we do have grant funds that can have.
I'm just
Right,
saying,
since it's the water.
can we?
What lift station you talking
Club Circle.
Club
Club Circle?
It's over in West Greenhouse.
I
I just need, I need to
Station goes there.
Come
on, But I would make a motion that we go with the limit of 45
I have a
without even
question
having to come back to council.
before
Yes,
we vote, if
go
that's
ahead.
okay.
Yes, go ahead.
So for the pump, I mean, I understand you want it on hand in case something happens. If something doesn't happen or we find we need something else, like are we able to, like, can you just go buy a pump or is this something that it
No.
takes?
No.
Okay.
This is an issue, this is not gonna happen, it is an issue.
It's been an issue
They're
for many, many years.
Yes.
A new one, you have to go to I believe these pumps come from Minnesota.
Okay.
And it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get one.
Okay.
And we have a spare right now, thank God. And if it goes down, then I'll come to council to order another spare.
Right.
Because they're just, it's old,
You have to have them.
it's old.
You have to have one.
So, you know, people
So
don't
we,
like sewer
so we
running
have
down
a
the road.
spare, but we wanna have another one in case that spare goes out and we need
We have a spare and we wanna have another one on back, or basically stashed back in there.
If I burn this spare if we use this
Hey
spare that
guys,
we
sit
have,
down, please.
then I will order another spare to get in to replace the next one that goes down.
We need several, I believe.
I've had them all looked at, this is why we know that this one's our main focus right now, so yes, we actually had this company come out and look at all of the lift
We
stations.
looked at all the big we looked
Yeah.
at all the big lift stations, and as a matter of fact, I worked on one while we were here, or while they were here, and the one in question close to Holly's house, I don't know what name of it is yet, but we just call it the mayor lift station, is what we call it. But anyways, it is operating on both pumps now. If the pump that we worked heavily on goes bad, then I've got one right there to put it in, okay? Costs up to 41, that's what the quote was, to put it in, but we've got another one on the other side of town, out by the lake, that it's in the same shape. They're old, they've been neglected, they hadn't been took care of, for whoever's responsible, I don't know. I know it's my baby now, so therefore, you know, I'm not afraid to fix stuff and ask for help with it.
How many pump stations do they have here?
There's 11. There's 11 lift stations, there is 4 major ones, and a bunch of them that run off 2-inch pumps.
I got one next door to me.
Okay.
And I think yours is working. Yeah, I think yours is fine, I think they looked at yours too and it was fine, they looked at all.
Center Road?
Yeah, they looked at all 11, we only had 2 issues.
Yeah,
and they
Center
were-
Road's fine.
Center Road's fine, we only had 2 issues in the city, and it was one that was behind Troy's house over there, and then the one that's behind on Club Circle, or the 2 main ones.
Right.
So, okay. So council, how would you like to proceed with this?
I made a motion to go up to 45 without coming back for council approval.
Alright, second.
So can I clarify that just a little bit?
Yes.
I mean, this quote says it's without federal, state, and whatever taxes on it. So,
Well,
so the 45 is without federal?
without the taxes.
Okay,
correct.
just wanna make sure that's
Yeah, I
noted,
agree,
so.
thank you.
All right, and that's from grant funding.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Perfect.
Well, that's what we gotta fix it. I don't want to know.
And I'll second it if nobody's done that already.
As I say,
Who seconded?
me or Robert, either one.
Either one, take it,
Yeah.
Robert or her.
I'm going with Cammy because I think she did it first.
Okay.
All right, Terry Rose,
Yes.
Cammy Garner,
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano,
Yes.
and Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Next is to approve or deny fixing or auctioning off the Ford 350 truck that we have for the city. Basically, y'all will see a bid. Terry's son did look at it. I went ahead and got another mechanic to look at it too, just to see what it would cost. The issues, because I did notice another oil leak underneath it. As you'll see, it's got a P2002 in the PCM. And it's got a wobble shake on the front end, and it's also got an oil leak, which they've not diagnosed, and it needs alignment, and it has, some other technical slack in the steering, excessive wear in the tire rod ends, and drag linkage. Ugh. And then also it needs to have the replacement of the steering shaft, the brake, and acceleration pedal. It is a total of, altogether, I think we were about $9,109 to fix it.
What year is that be?
2017, and it has 97,000 miles. Don't quote me on that, I think it's 97, I have to go back and look.
But do we want to know what the blue book value on the truck is?
It's a lot less.
Yeah, it's like 46 or 47, I think is what I looked at when I looked at it last, it's been a while.
And I found trucks that were comparable for under $40,000.
Yeah.
That's too nice.
And I do have the city, sorry, putting you on the spot, I do have the city mechanic, I can give him this and have him speak to the diesel and stuff like that if you want, if you're comfortable with that.
I'm just gonna let everybody know right now, I ain't looked at it, that's why.
Yeah, no, and I know that, I can give you the bid, no, I'm saying
I
something
don't
you
care
can,
what
okay.
you do with it.
Okay.
Just I ain't never seen the truck. don't
That's
know
why I'm
nothing
saying,
about it.
yeah, there you go, I wanted to make sure that they knew I didn't
I'll
take it to
service your
you.
vehicles, I will work on whatever you bring to me, but.
Yeah, and that's why I put you guys on the spot, sorry.
I'm not.
Okay, Jeff, go.
Okay, there is a guy that I trust to work on every diesel I drive, and I've got a couple of them. He's in Arnold. Now, his bid is pretty close to the one that the Ford House sent, but talking to him, because I sent him the same piece of paper that they sent us. Talking to him, he's a little bit higher, but he doesn't seem to think, after talking to him, that all the stuff that the Ford House quoted is gonna have to be done.
Do you have any specific examples?
Now, the truck was bought, the truck is overkill, way overkill.
Yeah.
I promise you, for water crew, it's way overkill. But when it comes to someone working on it, something that we're gonna drive, I know who I trust. Okay, and I'm not a big fan of stuff going to dealerships, I promise you. Because they get you coming and going, honestly. So, and he's a little bit higher than that. He's a little bit higher than that, but if it goes to him, then I will guarantee you, it will come back good. And then, and you're not gonna get any money for option on the truck.
No, you're not.
So I feel kind of like pretty indecisive on this issue. I mean, the fact that we way overpaid for this truck, it's like a huge truck that uses a lot of gas, so if it's, I mean, I don't know exactly what they need for the water, but just driving around, like, that's a huge gas expense. What we paid for this truck, we could get brand new truck from the dealership, like, with no miles on it. And so, like, I don't know, and now it's, we overpaid, and now it's $10,000 to fix it. So I mean, I'm kind of.
But everybody was okay for the old mayor to purchase this truck.
What was that?
Everybody was okay for the mayor to purchase
Well, hang
this
on,
truck
hang on just a
without
minute.
saying anything.
Hang on just a minute. I did not know about the purchase of this
I
truck.
said mayor.
Until, I know you said that we were okay with it. I said I did not know about the purchase of this truck until after there was a new mayor sitting in.
But nothing else has been said.
But I didn't know about it.
And then that's fine, but nothing's been said about the old mayor. I mean,
But
I think
you
it
can't
wrong.
do
I understand that, and you may tell me it ain't none of my stinking business, but how much was given for that truck? Because
I
have you
don't
priced
know.
a truck these days?
I
Have
don't
you
know.
priced, have you
I
ever
have.
priced a truck these days?
I have, that's why this is.
Yeah, that's why we
Now,
have to get.
secondly, it's not a gasoline engine, it's a diesel engine. If these guys are hauling in backhoes, steel,
I
pipe,
got a better truck.
I'm gonna tell you right, longevity wise,
It's a diesel.
it's gonna hold together. Unfortunately, in today's diesel fuels, ain't worth a crap, okay? You're gonna burn them up. The pumps in these things are falling out left and right, especially with Ford and Duramax.
Yep.
So, the guys need a good truck. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you didn't pay over $50,000 for that truck,
We did.
then you might ought to keep it because you're not gonna replace it. You're gonna get maybe a 6.0 gas, 3/4 or 1 ton. These guys might not have to pull a heavy load very far. But what if they do? Do you want to have the chance of, if somebody doesn't know how to pull a trailer, they're gonna hammer down and push that truck to the limit, and what they're gonna do is gonna burn the transmission up. They're gonna burn the motor up there. So you got a 50-50 shot here. Either way you go, it's a used truck. You go to a car lot, you buy a used truck, you go to another auction, you buy somebody else's problem. Now, diesel is gonna cost you a whole lot more than gas ever thought about costing you. Period. End of discussion. There ain't nowhere around. You go to a diesel shop, 125 an hour plus. Most of them are at 150, and that's independent. So take your choice on whether you wanna pay now or pay later.
Fuel's higher.
Have y'all looked at the blue book
Five-
drives?
five, maybe 10 cents.
Yeah, it's much lower than what we paid for it. Much lower than what they had paid for it.
More than $9,000 lower.
Okay,
Like,
council, what do y'all wanna do
Would it
with
pay
this
to go ahead
situation?
and fix it or not?
Do y'all wanna fix it, or do y'all want to auction it off? Do we wanna, I mean, it's up to y'all.
We kinda take a loss either way, I don't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's gonna hurt, I mean, either we take a loss on it, and we go get the guys 2 vehicles, or we fix it for whatever it is, and you just take a loss, I mean, it's either way, it's up
It's
to
a
y'all.
loss.
It's a loss, I mean, it's a loss of the loss.
And
I hate sugarcoating it anymore.
not vote to buy that thing in the first.
They didn't.
it was never presented to us to vote
It was
on.
never presented to us. Anybody.
So Jeff, how many trucks do you have right now, and how many do you need?
We've got a half ton, that most of the minor stuff is done in it. We have a 3/4 ton that when you load the mini on it, squats the hell out of it, it's hard to stop. You know, we put, as a matter of fact, we had to have the mini the other day, and we had to have the hydrovac, so I carried the hydrovac down to the job. So, you know, I've got 2, one of them won't haul nothing but a mower, the other one will haul it, but it squats it pretty bad, and then, you know, we gotta have another truck. I use my truck when I need to.
I make a motion, it's a loss either way, so I make a motion that we repair the one that we currently have.
Amen.
I'll second that motion.
Yes.
Terry Rose?
Yeah.
Amy Garner?
Yes.
You interested in looking at it?
Anastasia Raffiano?
Yes.
And Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Are we exempt having him look at it?
No, he can look at it if he wants to.
I mean, not just
I'll
look
tell you
at
right
it.
now, my specialty is not diesel.
Yeah.
Okay?
And that's,
I find my way through it. I'm not stupid. I'm not a rookie at this. I did this for 20 years before I went into law enforcement, and I'm back in it now, so I'm not a rookie at it. I find my way through it.
Right.
Most of the time, I deal with around the diesel.
My son's a diesel mechanic also.
So, I'm gonna say at this time, I would rather the city find an actual diesel
Well, he
mechanic.
doesn't have a shop.
I
so
think
he works
it
for
just
most-
got a shop, even though it's a long distance,
Well,
I mean.
I mean, this
but
is-
he's basing it on what he's
saying.
looking at right here, saying it may cost a little bit more. Okay?
That's his initial look, is
That's
right
looking
there
at
on
this
that sheet of
on a
paper.
piece of paper,
He says,
okay.
yes, it's probably gonna, if I go off that sheet of paper right there, yes, it's gonna cost you more. He said, but
So-
once I get in there and look at it, he says, I assure you, part of this stuff is not gonna have to be done.
Right.
Because when a dealership charges you for something,
So it's always more.
they charge you to take it off and put it back on, even though they had to take it off to get to what they needed to get to.
go ahead.
So I have a question, so, sometimes the dealership, like, warranty the
I bought a
part for
2020
a
half
certain
ton.
amount of time or miles,
Jeff, will your guy warranty the work that he does, and how long is the warranty?
I don't know how long the warranty is, but yes, he'll warranty it.
Okay. And
Yeah,
so-
he'll warranty it.
Yes. Yep.
If I call him, sorry.
No, go ahead.
If I call him tomorrow and tell him I'm bringing the truck and ask him what the warranty is, he'll tell me tomorrow. If he says he won't warranty it, I won't take it from him. But he works on, I've got 2 Dodges, I've had 4 Dodge diesels,
Okay,
and,
is he a certified diesel mechanic?
yes, he is,
And
yes,
he can
he is.
provide that documentation?
Yes, he can, yes,
So
he
that-
will.
that-
Yep. Okay, so who do y'all wanna take it to? Do y'all wanna leave it at the Ford dealership and let them go ahead and fix it since that's where it
Yeah.
is?
No.
I think
Okay,
that's
so
what
do I
Jeff's-
get it and take it to Jeff's guy?
For
Is that what
second
y'all want?
estimate, right?
Yes, for an estimate,
Okay.
right? We're not gonna have him automatically repair it.
So I'm gonna tell y'all right now that if we pull it out of the dealership, it'll be $350 or $400 to pull it out of the dealership. Each dealership charges.
Absolutely.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that y'all are aware of that before this moves forward.
We're gonna take it out and pull it to Jeff's guy.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna set like
An amount?
Yeah,
That's the
that way
big
we don't have to come
How
back.
much did he say, did he anticipate?
He said right around 10.
Okay.
Correct.
$10,000 limit?
I'll second it, I will make a motion that 10,000 will be the limit in order to repair the truck.
Tammy, you made the original motion,
I
so,
did.
so let me make sure I'm understanding your motion. We're going to vote to take it to Jeff's repairman and get a bid, and as long as it's under $10,000, then we can go ahead and have him
Then he can
fix
go
it.
ahead and start it.
Okay, just wanna make sure.
So there's a position since you're here. Right there.
Okay. Next thing is to discuss and take action on the official
What about the
representation.
motion?
Oh, hang on.
Tammy's still right.
Oh, Tammy, come on, Tammy. It's not a.
Oh,
Yes,
I didn't
Tammy,
know
we
I
did
did.
shorthand classes.
No, but it looks like I did.
So just to confirm, so this says that the, like basically the most expensive part is a filter needs to be replaced on this, that costs $5,378. It says.
I questioned.
2002 PCM.
It says
Come
repair
back.
check.
Cause he asked me, the other, no, that's fine.
I'm not a mechanic, but I've never heard of a filter being that expensive.
So I actually looked it up online today.
Yes.
And you can buy those filters from anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, depending on which one you get.
Exactly.
And where you get it from, so.
I asked my son about it when I saw that price, and he said, good luck finding it less.
Wow.
And he's the one that works on the diesel trucks for an oxygen company. So,
So, I mean, it's a thing that's about this long because of the exhaust system.
yeah.
I'm just gonna clarify the motion.
Okay, go for it.
All right, wanna clarify the motion. Tammy made the motion, Terry seconded it, to take the truck to Jeff's repairman to get an estimate, and as long as the estimate is under $10,000, then he can proceed with fixing it.
That's correct.
What about the new warranty? Do you want to?
With one, well, he said he wasn't gonna take it to him if he wouldn't promise to
He's
tell
not
him.
gonna want you to know.
Yeah, he said he wasn't gonna take it.
There you go. I just wanted to know the warranty.
What kind of warranty, because I
He
think
doesn't.
it's like 30-day warranty or like.
He doesn't know for sure, he knows he gives it a warranty, but he doesn't know what the warranty is. Okay, so I have that motion, take it to Jeff's repairman, as long as it's under 10,000, he can proceed to fix it, as long as it has a warranty on it.
But ask Jeff again.
Well,
Talk about it.
TNT brake out of Arlington. They've
Is
been
it
working
TNT
on
brake?
this
Okay.
for about 50 years now. I know it's down.
Alright, hopefully I'll get this right when I put it in the minutes. Okay, so I have a motion from Tammy, a second from Terry. Roll call, Terry Rose?
Yes.
Tammy Garner? Nastasia Raffiano? And Robert Thompson?
Yes.
Alright,
I'll start calling you in or something, I don't know.
right?
I just laugh because you always say her last name. I'm like, what about my first name?
Just say your first name, we'll go with that. Okay, next.
I can't pronounce her first name most of the time.
Can I ask a question? Could you not tell them the $10,000 quote, so we don't get a $10,000 quote back? Send that information to yourself, to your mechanics?
Just take it in and get a quote.
Okay, so we're gonna discuss and take to designate an official representative of the city for the Texas Division of Emergency Management, which is enclosure 6. That was a lot of mouth there, I'm sorry.
That was. Okay.
So, can you explain a little bit what this is?
This is, when we get grant money, someone has to be the official representation of the city for that grant money.
Similar to the old,
It's for grant money, it's not,
Yes.
okay.
similar to the old tourist thing that we used to have in order to get
And,
grants.
and the things that's throwing me off is the bottom sentence.
If you don't
Yeah.
audit how you use it.
Must be a mayor, a judge, an executive director, or authority to
Oh.
obligate, yeah.
So, yeah.
So was the previous mayor the authority for this
Yes.
stuff before?
Yes. I do remember this one.
Yep.
It was said that.
I say make Robert responsible.
Yeah. I don't think they already.
I'll make the motion that we approve the mayor and as the primary and Tammy as the secondary on this.
I'll second that. I don't remember.
Knew that's what you were gonna say.
I don't like
Me neither.
No, the rings.
Yes, you do now.
One of the rings.
I mean, no.
I got 3 grants. Okay, so Rob made the motion, the mayor first and city secretary. The second? Oh, Terry. All right, Terry Rose,
Yes.
Cammy Garner,
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano,
Yes.
and Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Ready? Review and take action to approve or deny renewal of the TML Workman's Compensation Insurance, which is enclosure 7.
Oh, okay.
And the reason that y'all are getting this is because of the estimated amount needed to be presented to y'all because it is over the 2,500.
And this is for all
So
of our workers?
one of the things on here is
No, this covers.
that covers payroll for elected officials is 13,800.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as I know, none of us elected officials get any money. So I was just wondering.
No, that's not money that you get. Basically, that would cover the city in lawsuits.
Right.
So I guess my question is like, if, I mean, usually, cause it covers like the payroll, so, I mean, so you're saying like if there was a lawsuit, I just don't see how it, if we're not paying that money, if it's necessary to have coverage for something that's not being paid out.
If
I guess
someone
was my
sues.
thought.
It's required by law.
It's
Well, that's what I'm saying, this is requirement.
Yeah.
If you don't go with this, then we're gonna have to find individuals somewhere. We have to
Which
have
is
workers'
more.
comp coverage.
And if you go individual, it's more.
Okay.
I make a motion to, pass the compensation declaration for 10,937.
I'll second that.
Terry Rose?
Yes.
Cammy Garner?
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano?
Yes.
And Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Council comments, does anybody have anything they wanna comment on?
I had a question, regarding the earlier report for the water department about the, water loss. I don't know the exact number, but it sounded something around 8,000.
800,000.
800,000.
Yeah, that.
800,000.
I just was wondering if we could get further explanation regarding that loss and like what it means as far as cost or anything else associated with that, whatever happened on the
I'm not
water.
exactly for sure what, Emory charges us per gallon. Okay, that I don't know yet. I've just been here, what, 6 days now? Yeah, 6 days.
You don't know it all yet?
Jeff?
No.
And, but anyways, what happened was, to my understanding, somebody was told to flush. And there's procedures you go through flushing.
Was this with the chlorine flushing?
Yeah. You don't, no, this is back in June.
Oh, this is June.
Yeah.
Okay.
this is-
Never mind.
It's
Yeah.
totally different.
Never mind.
This is June. So anyways, there's procedures you go through to flush lines, right? You don't turn on 3/4 of the fire hydrants in town at once, because that does nothing but drain the towers. And when you drain the towers and your pressure drops so low, then you have to, of course, pull back T samples to the state, causes boil water notices, causes all kinds of problems. And when whoever did that, then, that's the problem they caused. So there's a bunch of undocumented water loss.
So, are we able to know like who did that? I mean, I know, I don't know that, I mean, it seems, I forget how much we pay for water, but I know that like, on a monthly basis, it's nowhere near that. So if I just multiply it by 800, that's gonna be a pretty big bill, so.
And that's part of the reason that we have hired a certified and also somebody who has knowledge of water
Mhm.
to help us out here in the city. Actually, we have have hired 2 guys actually that are, actually we have 3 now that are certified and stuff to help out with this in this situation. So we were making sure that we're testing and we're making sure that we are keeping up compliance and we're not having the towers overflowing and flooding people's yards and stuff like that.
Well, we had one a couple of weeks ago, but that was uncontrolled.
Sorry about that one, Tag, I'm not good on that. So yeah, so we are working on that.
Both towers are functioning now like they're supposed to.
All of it.
Water's going through the meter, we're getting charged like we're supposed to, so. It's a whole lot better today than it was in June.
Good.
This will get better. Anybody else, any other city
Got
council?
any questions, you can call me anytime. I'm as transparent as I can be, I'm what I'm hiding.
Anybody else? Okay, so mayor comments, road repairs, I have requested Rains County and Bridge Administrator to repair several of the culverts. I believe one is on Tawakoni Trail that was really, really bad that we have actually fixed. It cost about $1,960 and it is in the budget. And currently, I think at that time, we'd only spent, I think roughly like $628, something like that. So we did get that fixed. As far as the water department, I did hire a contract meter reader, to take, cause the guys currently are spending about, I have one that is spending about 40 hours a week, which is taking away from the taps and stuff that we currently have going on in the city. So this gentleman will come in at, I think it's less than $13 an hour. 13, and he'll come in and do the meter reading. So he did start that last week and it actually cut the times down by having him come in. We also have hired, we did lose a water department person at the beginning of the month. So we have hired one to replace him and he starts on the 8th and he is certified in sewer.
I believe he's got his water.
And his
I
water
looked-
sewer
I don't
license.
remember, but
Yeah.
I believe he's got his water and his sewer.
Yes, so we will currently have 2 holding our water license, and we will have 2 that will be holding our sewer license. We have one that will be testing that is currently working for us, so we will actually have 3 and 3, so it'll be really good. So if we do lose somebody or somebody goes out or something like that, that will help us there too. Also, we have a lady coming in from Greenville that will be teaching us, how to make sure that we are compliant and doing all of our reports and everything like that. So we're not getting all these boil water notices and everything like that. So we will have somebody coming in to teach the office staff. Go ahead, go.
The boil water notices happen when there's a main break and you lose pressure below 20%. As long as we can fix it with water flowing through the pipes, we're gonna fix it with water flowing through the pipes. If you have to cut a valve in, like we did on 276, that's a different story. So, you know, you can't have 4 inches of water hitting you in the face while you're trying to cut a valve. We're not that good.
And previous budget, I have a picture of it, we actually had in the previous budget approved by council before. We did have approved to purchase a tractor for the water department. We did get a Kubota tractor. It has less than 400 hours on it.
324 hours.
How much?
324.
324, okay, and then we actually did spend less, I thank you Jeff for that, we spent 19,500 on that tractor. And it will help the guys mow 276, the parks, and all the other areas that they need to take care of, so we did get that purchased, and it did come out of the budget, like I said, we did save money, yay on that.
So is that something that was voted on?
It was previously put in the budget, yep, it's in the budget, so it did not have to be, and it already was, yep, okay, so that was done too. Tree trimming, I have had several requests from several citizens. I have actually gone out and got 3 bids, so we will be putting that in the new budget for next year. So,
You gonna hire somebody out to do tree trimming?
Yes,
instead of
we are.
Using city workers?
we don't have the equipment to do it.
Can't get that done.
We can't do
You don't have
it.
the equipment to do it?
No, ma'am. So we are gonna have to hire somebody unfortunately to do that, because it's not safe for
They
them to
need to
do
be
that.
bonded and insured.
Yeah, thank you.
So they don't
If-
have to drop the tree.
If the tree trimming needs to be done around power lines, all they have to do is call the.
Yes, we are aware of that, and I've already talked to the power company too, and they said they would take care of what they could take care of. Other than that, then it will have to be, put out for bids, which I did get 3. So we will be putting that in the, water, or actually putting that in the budget. The general budget. And then as far as, I know we've had some comments made on, around the police department. I wanna make sure that, put this out there, everybody understands how the police department is hired and released from their job. We have a city council that basically makes that decision to approve and release any officers or police force. I have basically wanted to make sure that everybody understands that. It is in chapter 2 of our administrative code and ordinances on the East Tawakoni website. So I want everybody to understand that I do not have authority to hire or fire a police officer. We will go into executive session and discuss issues, and I do apologize that y'all had to stand out in that heat today. But this is to keep that person, if it's an officer or if it's a city worker, whoever it may be, to keep their privacy and to make sure that we are protecting them. And we do not have any issues or conflicts in that and everything. Then we have executive session, we don't need to do that. And then I guess the motion to adjourn.
You have to discuss what was discussed in executive session, after executive session?
We actually made it a call, we did do that. So when we came back in, we told y'all that we are basically tabling what was discussed in the executive session.
So you didn't call it, and you tabled it.
We tabled it, yes, ma'am.
We tabled it. I'll second it.
Terry Rose.
Yes.
Amy Carter.
Yes.
Ms. Tasio Raffiano. And Robert Thompson.
Yes.